subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, I want to cover one more thing real quick, guys, and we kind of talked about Jordan Love a little bit before we get into Chalk Talk. Man, I tweeted this out. I quote tweeted Jacob Morley and said, Jordan Love, big game hunter. Jacob Morley pointed out, since becoming the starter in 2023, Jordan Love has registered 94 pass plays of 25-plus yards, okay, 25 yards or more. This is the most in the NFL over that span. So since he took over as a starter, there is no other quarterback in the league that has more plays, passing plays of 25 yards or more. This is how Jordan Love plays, right? Now, there's times he has to check down. I'm just still amazed by that statistic, and there's still a portion of the fan base that think that we're just throwing underneath. They're not letting him throw deep. It's like, but we actually lead the league since he took over in plays of 25 yards or more, right? Now, are some of those yak? Absolutely. But you can't be leading the league and never throw deep, never let Jordan throw deep. So, Emilio, I know you're doing this on rookie level on Madden. You're sending those all four. You're sending 4 verts, keep the running back in the block, and chuck that thing all over the yard. But I think this is awesome. I wanted to touch on this and a little bit of Micah Parsons because this is the leader of the Green Bay Packers right here. I'm to that point now. J-Love, if you guys seen the mocked up session from the game Sunday and hearing people talk, hearing the defensive linemen talk about how cold Jordan Love is, how I think one of them said, man, that dude is hard.
Like, Wyatt. Yeah, Jordan Love is hard, and they all kind of looked at him like Jacob looks at, and
he's a grown-ass man now. And
but he was trying to say, Timmy, he's tough. He's solid. He's a rock, man. That dude, he's him.
Yeah. And it's true, man. He's the leader of this team. He is, and he's done it the right way. He's not been boisterous. He's not been extremely vocal. This dude is a quiet leader. And now, which I think you're going to see is him start to voice his opinion a little bit more, right? And establish a little bit more of a role in that leadership role in the locker room. This dude, we're just so damn blessed to have him as a starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. That is the leader of your offense. I know Josh Jacobs is great, and I'm all about Josh Jacobs. I think he is a great leader as well. But you can tell the page is being turned right now. Number 10 is the leader of the pack on offense. So I just wanted to get your all's take on that, and we'll talk a little bit about Micah as well.
J Money, the dime thrower, man. What else can I say that hasn't already been said, right? I mean,
I got to do it to you, Tim. I got to do it to you. Go ahead.
Hey, Corey, how's it going? Yeah,
well,
J Money is that dude, man. Like I've been saying for the better part of 2.5, 3 years now. And leadership comes in a lot of different, shapes and sizes, and different forms, right? Jordan's going to lead this offense the way Jordan feels like leading this offense, and I just. To your point about Josh, I think Josh is the heart of this offense, but the soul and the leadership comes from number 10,
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. And JJ White 009 in the chat crushes this. I seen the same thing. J Love gave Dobbs a look when he dropped that pass. Dobbs came back out and caught everything. J Love is a leader to me.
That was
Did you notice that too?
Right? It wasn't the first one. I'm pretty sure it was the second one. Looked right, just kind of gave him that look down, Clay.
Bro, It was just like, all right, dude, enough's enough. Right. And listen, nobody wants to catch the ball more than Rome, but you can tell Romeo respects the hell out of Jordan, just like Jordan respects the hell out of Romeo, right? It goes both ways. And it was just in the heat of the moment, like, Bub, if you want me to keep coming to you, we got to make these catches. And when Aaron done that, he's an butthole. But when Jordan does it, I'm glad that people aren't criticizing Jordan the same way they did Aaron, because we need a little bit more of that from Jordan. I was very vocal, Emilio, when Aaron was a quarterback, like, hey, you've got to have that. You've got to have a leader, a general, that's not just going to pat you on the ass and go, good job, man. Oh, you'll get them next time. No, you've got to demand excellence from your teammates, and they need to demand it from you.
I want to pat you on the butt and you poop my hands. So
I wouldn't want that either, Matt, because it's honestly just sort of a different leadership technique is all it kind of comes out as. Jordan's going to give you the look where it's I don't you don't want to make your parents mad, but it's worse to disappoint them. That's where where it's kind of like, dude, you get that one look, it's over. But he doesn't need to sit there and scream at him to get that point across. He carries himself, a little bit more of a quiet leader. But when you speak, when you give those kind of looks, those, that sort of meaningful stuff, snap your head around. Let's get to it. I think everybody realizes, yeah, you're right, that he is the leader of this team. He knows exactly what's going on. He's starting to respond to the media even better. They were kind of asking him what was going down. How do you go about, going through the injury process? What do you do back there? Yeah, they give me x-rays, they take me up, and if I can go back out, they go back out there. It's like we're getting to the point where he knows we need to get through this. We got a team behind here. We got a lot of stuff to do.
Yep. Yeah. Jordan strikes me as a lead by example kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
You got vocal leaders and you got lead by example guys. And, he might be a hybrid of both. But I think Jordan's, act as if, right? Lead by example. I'm going to go out there and put it all out there for my team. And when I need to be vocal, I'll be vocal. When I need to just lead with my play, then I'll lead with my play. And we're, like you said, Emilio, we're blessed to have Jay Money back there under center.
I'm going to say something here. No Diddy. All right. I noticed this on Sunday. Look at this picture of Jordan. Thank you, Ron. I'm sorry for that. Look at this picture.
You said no Diddy. I had to hit you with that right there.
Look at his quads. Have you noticed that he's thickened up a little bit this year? To me, it looks like he's got a much stronger base too. Like
thick.
Used to be kind of wiry, you know what I mean? Tall, lanky, kind of, this reminds me, yeah, exactly. Silly body. It reminds me of when Favre kind of came on the scene. He was a little overweight. He trimmed down a bunch of weight when he became the starter. And then all of a sudden, those MVP years, you've seen him kind of thicken up around the base a little bit. Like that dude was all right. I think Jordan is like, I think he's stepping into an era where you're going to see, okay, no longer is the dude taking a big hit and this and that. I mean, you see him, he already tries to run through people's faces, right? I mean, he did that to his own detriment on Sunday. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but just something looks a little different to me in that regard. Like he's worked on his body a little bit and improving the strength in the lower body. And that's exciting because I'll tell you who it reminds me more of. It looks a little more like Jalen Hurts now, as opposed to some of the other skinnier quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Some of the other younger quarterbacks. Now, I'm not saying he's deadlifting the same amount of weight that Jalen Hurts is. Not many linemen are, right? But just something's changed there. I don't know if that's just me or not.
A little bit more Jalen Hurts, a little less, Joe Burrow, Caleb Williams kind of build. I think that he realizes that all that strength and power comes from the waist. Waist down, hips down, feet up. That's where he's getting all his drive. Half the time, he's got the upper body strength. He can throw it off the ground, no problem. We're not worried about that. It's how can you get your torque? How can you spin that thing? And I think you're right, Clay. You get that. He's past that, the rookie stage, knows the offense, all this other, stuff going on in his head that he needs to learn plays, all that's starting to come a little bit easier, a little bit more natural. All right, now I can focus on, the foundation, building that up. And maybe that's now on his checklist for this year, right? Start working down, get a little bit more upper body, tone that out. And dude's probably getting up at 6 every morning, hitting the gym, going into practice, doing probably a little extra than what is required just because he loves it.
Right. And Holmes says here in the chat, that's why he keeps trucking guys, LOL. And then he went on to say, guys, J-Love is bigger than Watson. Think about that. He is. He's I mean, and as Coach Lynn says, Love looks like he's at least 230 pounds. I mean, he really does. He looks like he's thickened up in a good way, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then I just wanted to point out here just an update on the statistics. He's got 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's passed for 2,421 yards, a passer rating of 103.8. He's averaging 7.8 yards per attempt, 67.7% completion percentage. That's not adjusted completion percentage. That's with the drops, right? And then, of course, the EPA per dropback is what I wanted to highlight. He's third in the league in EPA per dropback, actually tied for second with the reigning MVP, Josh Allen. Only Drake May has a better EPA per dropback, and it's literally positive, a plus 0.21. J-Love and Josh Allen's are a plus 0.20. So he's right up there in efficiency with the reigning MVP. So just wanted to point that out. And then one last thing before we get into Chalk Talk was on the defensive side of the ball, this guy right here, I was a little bit, I don't want to say concerned, but I was really eager to see how Micah Parsons was going to gel with this locker room. Like, because he's a superstar. Everybody knew he was a superstar. And when he comes in, is he going to be boisterous? Is he going to be loud? Is he going to be that rah-rah guy? Or is he just going to – he's been quiet. He's been keep your head down work and nothing but production, as Jacob Morley pointed out in the tweet. Micah Parsons has 19 sacks in his last 19 games. And you could tell that when he came in, this defense gravitated toward him. And I respect the hell out of Rashawn Gary, who's one of the older veterans on the team, been here since he was drafted. You could just tell he's lockstep with Micah, right? Mm-hmm. And then you remember earlier in the year, the reason I wanted to highlight this with Jordan Love talk before we get to Chalk Talk is, remember when Gary stood up earlier in the year and Micah said, "No, he said, sit your ass down. That's my $200 million quarterback out there. We're going for this. Like, we're putting it on his back," right? I just love the fact that on offense, Jay Love's the leader. On defense, you got Micah Parsons over there. Doesn't mean they're the only leaders on the team, but this team runs through those two cats, and they're going to be Packers for the foreseeable future. So just wanted to highlight that. Anything you guys want to add to the Micah Parsons leadership talk there as well?
I was just adding this real quick to the Jordan Love, just tapping it off for Chuck Jaggers. Jordan is slowly hooping, just waiting for that RAV4 to start up next week. Toyota-thon, baby. The picture's in the archives. We'll have to pull it out for you one day, Chuck. No worries. But you're right, Clay. Micah, he's that dude. I was talking to my dad, talking to Essay today. He was excited. He saw Quinton Williams out there. He said, we're getting a little bit more out of him than what was that 97. I said, Clark. He said, yeah, man, I feel like I don't hear him enough. He's not. We're just not getting enough out of him. He's probably doing the dirty work, and that's what kind of Kenny was always about. But you see that they missed that sort of splash player, that closer. Micah is a closer. Micah is that ninth inning pitcher you bring in with one out left just to get the dude in three. You know what I mean? That's why he's out there, but he's got enough in the tank at the end of 50, 60 plays to still close it out, get a couple of sacks at the end of the game and ice it. That's going to be
built to ass, BTA. You know what I'm saying?
That's going to be important. That is going to be extremely important at the end of the season. And just knowing that it can happen, knowing that the team, all right, he turns it up, maybe we need to turn it up with him. If everyone's turning it up on that level at the end of the game, 2 minutes left, we're going to have a scary defense.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else you want to add there, Tim, to the J Love and Micah Parsons talk before we jump into Chalk Talk, man?
Yeah, with Micah, a lot of talk about the run game. Pull the numbers. Look how he looks against the run. We've heard a lot of talk about, he's an edge rusher, he's a pass rusher, he's a liability in the run game. I don't see that at all on tape this year.
I completely agree, and I love how Hafley approached that too. Hafley said, if anybody thinks that Micah Parsons isn't a good run defender, I'd like to sit down and watch tape with you. I love that approach. Absolutely love it. So for those of you watching this video back later, let us know in the comments what you think about what we just talked about. Jordan Love, Micah Parsons, do you feel good about that being the leader of your offense, the leader of your defense? They're both young. They're going to be here for the long haul. They've both got long-term contracts. Everything's already in place for the cornerstone of your leadership right there as well. So let us know what you think about that. Maybe is there a player or two that you feel like is a leader on the team as well? Let us know in the comments. Hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, boys, y'all ready to get into it? Chalk Talk?
Still
ready to go.
All right, man, this is going to be a blast. We've got 16 plays.